So
I can only move so fast.
I know. And I'll tell you this, flight cancellations are rampant out there. Sean, did you have trouble getting to your gig?
No, I missed all the drama because I was on American Airlines the whole week that it was happening, and American hardly had any trouble at all. So
wow, that's great.
I
My
saw
wife and
the
I
drama from afar.
Yeah, my wife and I were split up. They canceled our flights. That was last week. This week, a friend of mine had her flight canceled for late September. And she was confused. She was confused how Frontier could do that. And I said, well, the airlines are so efficient these days, they suck months in advance.
Let's see if I can do this. Here we go.
It worked.
Since 2020, we've done plenty of virtual comedy shows online. And though the virus is slowing, we'll keep going because we've still got lots of hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin.
Welcome to Virtual Comedy Show. It's a Zoom meeting with jokes. So please turn on your camera, turn on your mic, unless you have barking dogs or a rabid moose in your living room, in which case, please mute yourself for Pete's sake, and let's have some fun.
It's the Virtual Comedy Show, starring Steve Goodie and Brad Tassell. Tonight, Steve and Brad welcome comedian
Sean Kent.
Plus funny songs from
Eric Nesda.
And a patty melt from Patti Vasquez. And much, much more. Now, please welcome Brad Tassell.
On a Tuesday, everybody. On a Tuesday. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the Virtual Comedy Show, friends. And Patti is here. It's fantastic. Yes. And of course, that was a good picture. I think your picture was the best. That was really good picture.
Why, thanks.
Yes. It's a show we do here every week with our star, Steve Goodie, who is, boy, bushy-tailed and bright-eyed at 3 a.m. in Edinburgh. And of course, Patti Vasquez, who I would be inappropriate to say she's bushy-tailed. I think that'd be inappropriate. So anyway, plus we have our very talented pals who are comedians and musicians who join us to share some talent. And this week is no exception. It is a very special week because we have our comedian is not only hilarious and a funny and good guy, but he is my comedy doppelganger, everybody.
Wow.
Celebrity Summit. He and I, for the last 3 months, have been every 2 weeks. I'm not on the summit. He is on the summit. And we're always in a very mediocre cabin. It's Sean Kent, everybody. Let's hear it for Sean Kent. Sean Kent, it sounds like a superhero name, Sean. I think that's that's the alias of a superhero. Figure out what your superhero name is.
Yeah, what are your superpowers? We need to know.
Think about your superpowers. Yeah. Anyway, if I don't now.
Self-loathing.
So that's
a superpower? I've been a superhero my whole life.
Get from Sean. Now, if you don't know what I mean by doppelganger, I mean I just told you what it is. Okay, so I wrote a whole thing and I didn't read it, and then I told you what it was, and because every time I go back, oh no, this is actually true. I wrote that since April, when I wasn't on the ship, Sean is on the ship, and I know this because and they love Sean, by the way, because every time I'm backstage about to go on, the cruise director keeps going, so when does Sean get back? When is Sean back? then he looks at me and he shakes his head and sighs. So, okay. And Sean is in. Yeah, he and I are also usually in the same cabin, but not together. Okay. And of course,
what are you trying to tell us?
The what?
What are you trying to tell us about you and Sean?
We're both comedians and we both have the same job at different times.
And you share a cabin. All right, fine. It's fine.
But not at the same time.
A cabin and a job.
I'm not judging. It's fine.
No, I would share a cabin with Sean. We just don't have to do it at the same time. And of course, we can't forget our super talented musical guest. It's Eric Nesda. Yay.
Yes.
Direct from PBS, right to your heart. And we got the keyboard working. And as you can all see, I'm home. You can tell by the dragon. That's not a dragon. You can tell by the T-Rex on the wall that I'm very excited. The last night, and I'm going to tell you what happened. The last night on our cruise with the wife, I got notified by Canadian Canada Air that our flights to Denver from Vancouver to Denver were canceled. And kindly, they said, we're going to get you new flights in 30 minutes. So very proactive airline. And lo and behold, an hour later, we were no longer on the same flight. We were not even on the same plane. I was headed to Chicago, and Janet was headed to Calgary, Canada. Weren't even going where we were going.
You're going to my driveway. That's where you're going.
That's right. Well, we finally made it to your dumb driveway after 24 hours of working on this. It took
Hey, my dumb driveway is the only thing you can count on this trip.
That's true, and the key's hanging there. So if anybody wants to go there, so we finally flew separately, and what my wife said was, "Man, I got some peace and quiet." So that's kind of fun. So she was like, "Oh, I got to fly alone. That's kind of fun." Okay, so here's some jokes. Here we go. I'll do these, and then we have a special guest, and then we have some more jokes. The Olympics. Let's talk about the Olympics. And by the way, this is old because I decided not to write anything today. It's from the last 2 days. So the Olympics are going great guns as conservatives are being totally offended by Papa Smurf in the opening ceremony and sharing, they're so mad, but they're endlessly sharing a French pole vaulter's junk bouncing off a bar. That's not a problem for the kids. Hey, kids, look at this.
That guy won a contest, but he won the wrong contest.
That's right. He won the wrong contest. And man, can he bounce a bar, man. I'll tell you, it was great. They offered him $2 million to do something or to take so anyway, they also have endless hours of pearl clutching about a lady boxer who isn't 36, 24, 36 while ignoring a child sexual predator. He's okay, but the lady who's not shaped right, they don't like. But can we all agree that watching synchronized swimming, we can't help but worry those French cut bathing suits might cut a little too French. I get really worried when they come up with the legs, and I'm like, no, don't. Okay, so anyway.
That's the reason I watch it.
I know, that's why. Hey, you're a married man, sir.
That's a good part.
I watch that and women's volleyball. Women's volleyball is an amazing sport.
It is. Bikini volleyball. That's crazy. My wife not happy. We were watching it last night, and she goes, "No, we're not." Also, did you see this? Some triathlon competitors are bowing out because of the poor quality of the water in the Seine is making them ill. Others are enjoying it as that third arm really helps their speed.
The third arm didn't help that pole vaulter.
Yeah, that third. Oh, hey, you got that in, and here's your dad. We're going to tell him. Also, Simone Biles did the unthinkable by making a mistake. Everybody's angry. She dared to be human. And by far the biggest star of these Olympics is Snoop Dogg. I think that's the dude is everywhere with everyone. He even called Martha Stewart to come help him overcome his fear of horses. Did you see that?
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
He's scared. He's always been scared of horses. Snoop brought sugar cubes, apples, and carrots to feed the winning horses. But then Martha told him that that's frowned upon. You cannot feed the horses, which was okay because after Snoop did a blunt, he ate all that anyway. So it didn't. Ate all that anyway. All right. Hey, now you know what we're gonna have. I'm gonna do the special guest now. We have our favorite buddy in the world.
Oh man!
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's add him. It's Marshall Stern, everybody. Marshall Stern.
Yay!
Hi, Marshall Stern. He's building a yurt out in the woods. He and the wife are going to live in a yurt. So, Marshall, love the beard.
Thank you.
You got a letter.
I'm a mountain man rabbi.
Rabbi?
That's the look.
A Buddhist rabbi. I love it. So, Marshall is here to do a special piece we're calling. What are we calling this, Marshall?
Well, this is a special homage to J.D. Vance and his
Oh, nice.
Wait a minute. I'm going to go out and you do your special homage to Jamie Vance. Here we go.
Okay.
Go.
Need some music. Music?
No, Steve is in Edinburgh. We can't do no more music.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm not prepared.
Yeah.
To J.D. Vance, the coital couch Casanova, the suave seducer of sofas, the lascivious Lothario of loungers, and desperate deflower of divans. To him, every seat is a love seat. He likes couches that play hard to get. That's why he prefers a chaste lounge.
Oh, yeah.
JD pickup line. Sofa, so good. For protection, JD uses a pullout. Or wear flat flip cup. Either one. He looks for divans with more cushion. His favorite couch is a sectional.
Ah,
Is the only known man with a restraining order from IKEA. He likes to wear his gun, so he's always upholstered.
He's what?
He likes to wear his gun, so he's always upholstered. And finally, JD, he once had a youthful homosexual indiscretion with a lazy boy.
Marshall, everybody, come on! I told you that was funny. That's freaking amazing. I don't know what you're worried about.
Can I add one more?
Go ahead.
Sure.
He's recently put a down payment on a Boinka lounger.
Oh.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
well, I'm taking
leaving.
Steve out anyway. That's good.
I got one.
All right, Marshall Stern, everybody, let's hear it for him. That was fantastic. Keep writing those, and we'll do them. So, although it doesn't have to be about JD Vance. All right, here we go. I've got a couple jokes, and then we're gonna probably stop. Who's talking? I hear it. Okay, here we go. All right, hey, let's start. Jimmy Carter will be 100 soon.
Wow.
He's been in hospice for so long that 3 of the nurses have died of old age ahead of him. That's how. But
That's
the kindest.
terrible.
That's sure. But the kindest president ever has announced he is trying to live long enough to cast his vote for Kamala Harris.
Yay.
It's beautiful, isn't it? That is so nice. And I'm hearing about a sound. Okay, anyway. By the way, George W. Bush is also voting for Kamala and not dying, but does hope that he doesn't put up the mission accomplished sign a little too soon.
Ah.
Hey, that was in 2003 for a joke. Hurricane Debbie has hit Florida with high winds and flooding and has now been downgraded to Tropical Storm Karen.
Oh,
That's a strong joke right there.
Man, you are on fire.
I'm on fire. Wait, it's going downhill quick. Hurricane Debbie also blew more than $1 million in cocaine all over the beach in the Florida Keys.
Yep.
Authorities have told the public to not go looking for the drugs because they've already been turned over to police, but beachgoers are advised for the next few days to keep an eye out for bears. Come on. God, y'all knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
So much for being on fire.
Told me, yeah. Well, I knew it was over. I knew it was over. But if there's a cocaine bit, if cocaine shows up anywhere, got to be bears. Okay. Lindsey Graham urges Trump to stop his racial attacks against Kamala Harris and come back to bed for cuddle time. Okay.
oh my.
It's all in the words, and I screwed up the words.
No, you're still on fire. That was fantastic.
That's right. Zac Efron is fine after what was called a swimming accident caused him to be pulled from a pool after lunch in Spain during a vacation and sent to the hospital. Oof, rough.
Oh,
In a
dear.
statement, we said 30 minutes, said every mom in the world.
Oh.
Ah.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay. And now just one more, because I was proud to give my time up to Marshall. That was amazing. Nigeria has warned its citizens to reconsider traveling to the UK because of ongoing riots. Right? They're telling their citizens, you can wait till fall to deliver the $51 million to Mildred from Sussex, who helped you with your dead businessman husband's will. That's what I told.
Wait, what? Can we go back to the
Let me read that again. Let me read that
Yes,
again.
please.
Nigeria has warned its citizens to reconsider traveling to the UK.
Ah,
Do I have to read the rest of it, or do you now?
yes.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yes.
Because of ongoing riots in the UK, Nigeria has told its citizens.
Yes.
They told their citizens in Nigeria, you can wait till fall to deliver the $51 million to Mildred from Sussex, that your dead husband's will isn't possible.
There you go.
Now I get it.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Much better the second.
You want to do
Join
one
us
more
from
bear
3 in the
joke?
morning. Join us from the future. Steve.
All right, fine. Hi. I want
Hi.
you to know, in the future, everybody's asleep during that joke.
Yes, yes. That
It's
joke's a
it's
thinker. They call that a thinker.
It's a much brighter future.
Yes, I know.
All right. Hey, before I do the top 10, which is pre-recorded, so I don't really do anything, I'm going to answer everybody's questions. Everybody's been so curious. Where are you staying, Steve? What's your lodging in Edinburgh, Steve? Well, I just want you to know, back, I think it was a year ago, as we were leaving Edinburgh, me and Brad, I said, we got to come back and do this again next year. And Brad said, I'm not doing this next year. I want to make money next year. So I said, well, I will probably do it anyway. And he said, well, if you're going to come back to Edinburgh, you should probably just buy a flat. Well, guess what?
You bought a
I
flat?
did. I own this. Hold on. I'll take you on the tour. It's very exciting because this
Wait
place.
a minute.
So
You actually bought a place.
I
in
bought this. Now which I just moved in 6 days ago, so it ain't done or anything, but this is the glorious living room. Ooh, look. Things. And now here's the entranceway. I own that key rack. Thank you very much. Here's a closet. Here's Brad's bedroom when he stays here. Of course, you'll notice no bed, but we're working on that.
I'm freaking out right now.
Over here, my bedroom, again with no bed, mattress on floor. But furniture has been ordered and it will arrive very soon.
Wow.
Wow. Here's my surprisingly clean bathroom. Wow.
God, this is
Look. This is why I can make all this noise at night.
this is blowing my mind.
Here's my kitchen. Look at this. Washing machine.
Wow.
Space where dryer used to be.
This
Washing machine. Space where dryer used to be. But you know what I found out? You know what I found out 2 days ago? This washing machine is also a dryer. You put your clothes in at midnight, hit one button, and at 6 in the morning, your clothes are washed and dry. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the
Wow.
one. Well, that's what we had in your buddy's apartment. Remember?
No, it didn't dry.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Well, he told me it didn't, so I was just hanging all my underwear out the window. It doesn't
He's
matter.
a dummy because I washed and dried every other day in that.
Here's the most exciting feature of this apartment. Now, I want you to know this has been cleared by the police. Everything's fine. But if you do visit, don't go into this closet here because, look.
Oh my gosh.
Angel.
That's how you find a bargain in Scotland.
This is blowing my mind right now.
That was the goal, to blow Brad's
What
mind.
are you going
maintains
to
it
do
when you're
for
not
the other
there?
11 months of the year?
So who maintains it when you're not there?
I'm coming. I'm renting. I want to. I
Wait,
call dibs.
who maintains the flat?
Here's the plan. Here's the plan. I haven't yet acted on everything. You can't do everything all at once. The plan is, well, the original plan was to rent it out to somebody else all the rest of the year and then have it for me every August. But Scotland in particular, in general, and Edinburgh in particular have cracked down on that because there's so much influx of tourists in August that all of the people who live in Edinburgh, that's just where they live, become homeless in August because they all get thrown out of their apartments so that Americans and Turkish and other people can show up in Edinburgh. So they're not doing that anymore. So, you still with me?
Yes.
Brad is in shock.
I am.
So the plan
He's
is,
like
there's
freaking out.
there's 2 bedrooms. One of them I will rent out year round and also have a manager here, probably our friend Alex, maybe the guy to manage this property for me, rent it out year round for 1 bedroom and let that tenant know the other bedroom will be empty most of the time, but I'm going to show up once or twice a year and that's just going to have to be fine with everybody.
That's a good idea.
And in 5 years I'll sell this and make a lot of money and quit showbiz.
Do we get to ask you kind of what that cost?
You can ask.
Okay.
How many pounds?
How many pounds? A lot. Way more than I thought.
2 tons?
Wow.
I'm not going to
Make
get
that deal. You
specific.
make that deal, and how'd you find it? Okay, this show is going to take 3 hours.
It's
We're
been
going to
about
wait
a
until
6
the
month.
end because no one's going to be.
It's been about a 6-month process. It's not easy to buy a flat from afar, as you can imagine. But yeah, with the help of Alex, a lot of help from Alex and Jules, who live here and are very familiar with the Edinburgh housing market, as you may recall, Brad.
Yes.
They've been super helpful, and I found an attorney. They call them a solicitor here.
Mm-hmm.
You know why they call them solicitors? Because you have to pay them up front.
Yeah.
Well, when the shite hits the fan, you can go to Ireland or England there when the shite hits the fan here.
Are you going to get residency?
No, I don't expect so.
Because you can only do 90 days every
I'm
180.
not going to be here that often. I don't think I'm going to try for that. Although, I might try. It can't hurt to try, but I'm not counting on it.
Wait,
Now,
was
will
this
you
because
rent out
wait,
the other? What?
I want to know, is this before or after? Were you worried that Trump was going to win? Is that why?
Yeah. I thought
I learned my
that
lesson.
That must have been Patty right there.
It's a fair question. It's a fair question, but I learned my lesson in 2017. When Trump was elected, I took a trip around the world, literally, to try to get away from him. I went as far as Australia. What's all that?
Oh, wait, I've muted the wrong person. Sorry, Patty.
I'll mute your brother.
That's my brother. Okay, Patty, come back in.
In 2017, I went around the world to try and get away from Donald Trump, and it turns out you can't do it. I was as far away as Australia, and he's still on every television ever. So I've given up on that. Also, one of the reasons to do that then was to see the guy can't aim, and if he's got all the nuclear weapons at his disposal, I want to be not near North Korea. But then I realized I'm probably safer in Tennessee than Australia because his aim, though bad, probably wouldn't hit Tennessee.
Well, and he likes North
Or
Korea.
his golf courses
He's not
in
bombing North
Scotland.
Korea. He's bombing Ukraine for Russia. So.
Yeah.
Any of those.
All right.
That
I
was
think we
it,
need to start.
2017.
We need to go back to the show. We'll talk about this later.
Wow.
Play the top 10.
Let's do a top 10 that has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh my
Here-
God! I can't, I'm not getting.
Hey everybody, it's top 10 time again. Pre-recorded, wearing the outfit, Bob's ready, let's do this. But this one involves some stuff that might be a little tasteless, so I've been asked by the FCC to proceed it with this disclaimer.
Hey, this is gonna get pretty gross.
All right.
Everybody good? All right. Tonight's top 10 category. Top 10 things to do in 99% humidity. Number 10. Give a salute heavenward as you're sweating to the oldies. Number 9. Wriggle your way into that size 0 Catwoman outfit at last. That one was for John. Number 8. Wear your scuba gear to work. Number 7. In your Tinder profile ad, I make my own gravy.
Tasteless.
Not tasteless, but not a good taste either. All right, who cares? Number 6. Water your plants by walking by them and shaking like a dog. That would be handy. Number 5. Irrigate your garden by planting your underwear.
Oh gosh.
Number 4. Make steamed broccoli by wearing it as a hat. Number 3. Rent yourself out to Cracker Barrel as a salt lick. Extra income. Number 2. Grow your own mushrooms in your armpits. And the number 1 thing to do in 99% humidity. Run through the car wash to dry off.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That was good.
Right.
They're usually good, but that was extra special good.
If
You
you
know
like
who loved
gross.
that one? It was Patty who loved that one. Patty,
Oh, good.
we all need to go to Edinburgh and stay at Steve's.
Yes, let's go.
Yes.
We could do now. We can do a show with a bunch of us.
All right. I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
Let's do it,
we'll
Coach.
cancel all of August next year if Patty goes.
Yeah, and I kick my
Okay.
tenant.
I'm going. I'm in.
Well,
Already
you gotta
in.
kick your,
I
you
said
can't have
yes.
a tenant, and then we'll have to. And you and Patty share a bedroom. But
We'll figure it
so is
Ah,
that
she's used to sleeping with a Steve. She won't even know the
that's right?
difference.
I would say she won't even know the difference. Double Steves.
Oh my. This all got weird, but I'm here for
Well,
it.
hey, that's how the election's going. It's weird.
Oh my God, yes. It's
Okay,
weird.
wait, but we got to move
Weird
on.
people.
Let's fix it.
Ron's gonna be
Crap, I screwed it up. I'm sorry. It was
well,
too good. Everything was too good. I'm sorry.
everything was too good.
Amongst yourselves. Here we go. Any second now.
It's time for a Patty Melt with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses. She's melting down. It's a Patti Vasquez, Patty Melt.
With my future roommate.
So I've been all over the British Isles, but I've never been to Scotland. It's the only place I haven't been. Wales and Ireland and yes, all the things. Although right now, it's a dicey time to go to parts of England, but that's okay. Neither here nor there. You know, we think that we have all the crazy right wingers. There's so many. There are so many. If you're not familiar, don't Google it, but crazy things are happening in England. Anyway, okay, so today's melt. Look here, it's hard because so people are messaging me this morning. I wanted Governor Walz. I wanted Coach Walz. This is my pick. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I am beyond thrilled.
Yay.
But the beautiful thing about this is it really puts the Midwest front and center. Now, President Obama, yes, from Chicago, but the Midwest, this guy brings Nebraska, Minnesota. I mean, things like, you know, the apologetic part of it, but also in your face about it. And I know that both Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz are just months outside of Gen X, but this campaign is all Gen X. When someone says, say it to my face, I'm sorry, that is Gen X. We are, meet me on the playground after school, let's do this. And that is what these two are bringing. It's none of your damn business. Oh my God, what is happening? The guy does dad jokes, but still does a couch humping joke to Vance's face. What? What is happening? This is amazing. I mean, here's how much I dorked out today. Folks were texting me. I got up. I turned on the TV. I started weeping when I saw him go up the stairs. Someone stopped him to do a selfie. This woman was like, no, wait, let's do a selfie first. I mean, you could hear the whole thing like, we got to do a selfie on the stairs on your campaign plane because this is it. I'm sorry. What's that sound? Oh, it's the death of the Republican Party, folks. This is it. This is, I mean, whatever they want to do after this, that's up to them. That's between them and their cultish God. But I'm so fired up, you guys. I haven't felt this good. I know people keep talking about President Obama. This you know what this is like? This is like the last day of school before summer. Like that's how good I feel like anything is possible and it's all gonna happen. Maybe there's some drinking, maybe there's some sex, but not here. I'm just saying, just in general. When they talked about how they're bringing in the joy, I forgot like I'm sorry. Joy has not been in a great abundance. I will take all the buckets of joy they are serving at their rallies, in their commercial. I mean, have you seen? I'm sorry. Are you going down the rabbit hole of all the things that are Governor Walz and Vice President Harris? I mean, it's okay. What if you have any hesitation? No, please just look for Governor Walz and a piglet and at the state fair with his daughter making fun of her for being a vegetarian because he's like, you want corn dogs? And she's like, I'm a vegetarian. He goes, well, we'll get turkey. And she's like, that's still a meat. And what? It's
not in Minnesota.
I know. It's special. It's Minnesota. It's special. Now, I don't know if we've covered enough of the couch humping material for folks who are in my timeline.
We did good.
And they're like, it was scandalous. That was a fake tweet. I'm sorry. That makes you angry, but lying about abortions and executing babies after they're born and whatever, like, but we can't say, and the Pizzagate thing and drinking adrenalized blood of infants. But I'm sorry, you know why the couch humping thing took off? Because it's believable. That guy with the guy liner putting the cat wings in the sides of his eyes, that guy, I 1,000% believe that he saw a crevice in his couch and went, I've been there. I'm just saying. It's here. And by the way, I don't know how much I want to go into self-pleasure. I'm not, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, is all I'm saying. If you have to put a latex glove in the couch cushions and whatever, but here's the thing. I remember, so I used to have a bit, and I know we're pressed for time because we all want to go to Scotland with Steve, but I have a story that there's a horrible radio host named Mancow. If you remember, during I think Bush's administration, he said he could. Remember he said like waterboarding's not a big deal.
Yeah,
and on
his show
on Fox, they let him waterboard. 8 seconds he lasted. Well, I used to be a regular on his show, and I used to tell a story about my dad catching me. Look, I didn't think anybody else was home. The living room couch is a bad idea. I was, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I was on the couch, not in the couch, on the couch. I was tickling my flower, as it were. Anyway,
Oh my God.
I never heard my dad walk in the room. All I heard was, "Geez," right? And my dad would. Okay. Anyway, it was a whole longer story about this. It was very awkward for a long time. And he walked around the house, worried it would be like the next room he walked into. Like he would knock on the door of the kitchen, like, "Hey Pat, you in there? I'm coming in." I'm like, "Yeah." The rolling pin really set me off, Dad. Thanks for asking. But so what I'm saying is, like, do you discover yourself? But this guy came up to me one time after a show and he's like, thank you for admitting that women touch themselves. And I'm like, I don't speak for all women. I'm just saying from my own perspective, because we have to work at it. And my joke was, guys, because it dangles, as we saw at the pole vault. Anyway, what a great advertising opportunity for Saran Wrap. I'm just saying, we got you covered. No matter how high the bar is set. Anyway, this guy came up to me after the show. He's like, thank you for admitting that women touch themselves. And I'm like, no, I don't admit that. But I'm pretty sure all men do because they dangle. I mean, they're going to bump into the couch and be like, that felt nice. I'll do it 30 or 40 times. I didn't know that JD Vance saw my set. I feel famous. Famous. Anyway, thank you, everybody.
Oh, Jay, Patti Vasquez.
We did it again. Damn it.
What?
I'll get Patty.
I blame myself.
What did I do?
I disappeared. No, you disappeared.
We got rid of each other when we did that. So,
sorry.
Hey, you know
That's
what?
okay.
But the Vance
I got
thing,
naughty.
it was in his book, and then they took it out of the copies late. So people have the original first printing, have him saying in the book.
I'm just saying.
And I'm saying, you know what? Sure, if you want to.
Yeah.
We also get to joke about it. When you're holier than thou, we get to joke about it. So
I'm just saying. And Walls somehow made it a dad joke.
Hey, you know what? Look at that leather couch behind me. It's looking pretty good. Let me tell you.
I got one myself right here. It's 3 a.m. and yeah,
it's 3 a.m. and you're kind of lonely. So that's kind of nice.
I would like to make a reservation for Chateau Goodie for next summer, by the way, please.
Okay, we're calling it Shea Goodie, but yes, that's fine.
I'm sorry, Shea Goodie.
I'm going to guess.
You got to get it right if you want to stay on this couch.
240,000 pounds. That's what I'm going to guess. 200.
You're guessing what?
I'm guessing 240,000 pounds.
Interesting guess. You're not that far off, and all in the interest of saving 1,500 pounds.
Yes. Yes. No, more than that. About 3. Last year, what did we pay? 18.
You paid 3,000 between the two of us.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I guess it was that. They never charged me for the upgrade for Janet in my room when we had
nice.
the. Okay.
Yeah, right, they charged me for something.
This show's going to be 8 hours long. Okay, Patty.
I'll be here.
And Man Cow, I did Man Cow's show.
Oh, he was terrible.
When Don't Feed the Bully I have to give Man Cow credit because when Don't Feed the Bully came out, I did his show and I went to number 16 on Amazon, and that's when the book took off. So I have to give him that. So.
Oh, fair enough. I'm glad that worked out for you.
All right. But he's still creepy. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Things usually work out pretty well for Brad.
Yeah, they do. I didn't buy a house though. Oh my God, Eric, what do you think of that, Eric?
Hey, wait, before you go, wait a minute, hold on. Put Patty back in, please, with Eric.
Okay, Patty.
There's something I want to share, if I may.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited by this. Now, I'm not shaming anybody. Everybody's fine. Love everybody, but I think this is funny. Hold on. I can just make this work. This is so not worth it. Hang on.
I can already feel it's not worth it.
Okay, here we go. I'm sharing this. This is our new vice presidential candidate.
Yeah.
And he is exactly 6 months older than everybody else in this frame.
6 months? Wait.
That's all I want.
I'm the oldest. How old are you, Eric?
35. I'm 60. I'm 67.
Oh, 67.
You're not either.
You are not.
This Eric's 67.
Get the hell out of here.
I will be 60 on Halloween this year. So,
right. And he will be, and our new vice president, thank you, will be 61 5 months after that.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, look pretty
I gotta
good.
tell you.
Well, you're
right.
right.
We look pretty good.
I look a hell of a lot better than that guy, though. I'll
That's
tell
what
you
I'm saying.
nothing else.
Okay, let's do this.
Well, that was sure worth it. Okay.
I know.
Eric,
You were a high school teacher, Brad. Well, yeah, and he said that he looks old because he had to do lunchroom duty for 20 years.
Yeah.
If I found duty in the lunchroom, I'd look old too. All right.
Oh God.
He served in the military.
Let's do the musical guest thing. You know the deal, Eric. You're going to play a song, so I'm going to have to answer it, and then you're going to do another song. Here we go.
It's our musical guest, Gonna sing something funny and then Steve will play something in between. Our musical guest, It's time for our musical guest.
67.
Hey, hey, Steve, first of all, I want to tell you that our show's out, the one you were on.
Oh, cool.
And it's airing all over the country now. And we haven't quite gotten on Nashville PBS yet, per se, but Cookeville, which is near Nashville or something, is airing.
But I can probably find it online somewhere.
Well, or on your TV once you get back to the States.
Okay, neat.
Yeah.
Does everybody know what he's talking about?
His show on PBS.
Yes, called Songs at the Center. We're on 420 stations, and I was really honored to have Steve Goodie return as a guest for season 10. So
Who else was on the show with me, Eric?
What's that?
Who else was on that show with me?
Well, Carla, you're Brick.
Ulbrich, yeah.
Ulbrich, yeah. Never forget a name. And Haywood Banks with his famous Toaster song.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that he's not here tonight because, he'd charge if he had to play
He
that
would.
song.
Yeah, I'm up at 3 a.m. He can't stay up past 9.
Sorry for all these inside jokes. They are funny, but only Steve and I get them. So, but anyway, Patty mentioned the Midwest, and I'm in Ohio, and, football's really big in Ohio. And so football season has started. Now they're just, working out and all that. But in about 3 or 4 weeks, the NFL season will start. And that means that the Cleveland Browns will be mathematically eliminated. Isn't it a stitch? Time for despair. They can't move the ball on the ground or in the air. Where are the Browns? Send in the Browns. Just when they start opening holes, finally knowing they're close to the goal, making mistakes once again like they've been doing all fall. Fumble the ball. Don't you love farce? Whose fault? Oh well, I thought that they'd want to win. No chance in hell. Where are the Browns? Send in the Browns. Well, maybe next year.
Yes. So good.
Thank you.
Hang on, I'm coming. Here I am. Hello. That was tremendous, Eric. Thank you for sharing that. As you know, my job now is to somehow sing a song that relates to that somehow. I've been furiously scanning my notes for anything about football or anything about Ohio. And all I came up with was this, written in 2013 when, if you'll recall, Obama was president and the right wing was furiously trying to shut down the government. It's alright if you love me, but yeah, this here government's closed. I'm not too bright or skilled, but I've got a wall to build, and Mitch will not bring it to vote. Actually, I think I updated this one for Trump. Yeah, this is a Trump song. Right. So I serve my visitors McDonald's while the TSA works without pay. And I blame the Democrats, cause I'm such an effing brat. I'm used to getting my way. I'm a baby. Shut down. Go ahead and stick it to you. Shut down and blame it on the other side. Shut down. These brown people are killing me. Shut down. It's all right. It's all white. Sorry. Thank you.
Could have gone
All
Faith
right.
and Travis.
Another one
So-
from you, Eric, please.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know, Patty gave me a great setup. She talked about how this is a Generation X election and all that. And then Brad was talking about how we're all, 6 months younger than
I was talking about that, but yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. So I think we should do something for the more mature members of our audience tonight.
Woohoo!
That means I can tune out, right?
Life is a hard road we all have to drive from the moment we're born till the day that we die. There's a point in the journey we're lucky to reach. Well, the bones begin to rattle and things start to creak. The eyelids grow heavy and the bladder gets weak when you're north of 50 and south of deceased. When you're north of 50, south of deceased, life is just golden. You set yourself free. It unlocks any door. Dang, where'd I put that key? Well, you might need a surgeon, but too soon for a priest. You're grateful to see the sun rise in the east when you're north of 50 and south of deceased. Friends say you're vintage. Kids call you old, got a full tank of gas, but the engine's gone cold. You don't have a filter, but don't give a bleep when it comes to what you're wearing. You don't care in the least, but you're scaring everybody down at the nude beach when you're north of 50 and south of deceased. When you're north of 50, south of deceased, life is just cold and you set yourself free. It unlocks any door. Dang, where'd I put that key? Well, you might need a surgeon, but too soon for a priest. You're grateful to see the sun rise in the east when you're north of 50 and south of deceased. Well, the chance of an accident is greatly increased, so you know every rest stop from here to St. Pete when you're north of 50 and south of deceased.
Yay!
Catchy.
I know that.
Thank you very much.
Everybody here but Chuck. That's
She's here.
so
I know which one.
Oh, yeah, I'm
song
sorry,
he's
Elena's
gonna-
also-
Oh, no, he already did it.
Oh, right.
Elena's-
44.
So I'm
Yeah,
a little
44
off.
as well.
So, all right, you're right, two people.
Yeah,
So that was
you know,
beautiful.
18 is the new 67.
That's right. And 34 is the new 55. So it's terrible. So,
I wish it was doing.
Thank you,
so
Eric.
tell us the show
Hey,
again.
Oh, it's called Songs at the Center. We're now in our 11th year.
Wow.
It's based in Columbus, Ohio. And I got to tell you, my friend Tom Douglas, who wrote, come on, Steve, help me with this, The House That Built Me, you know,
Oh, yeah.
the #1 song. Anyway, he said, a music show in Columbus, Ohio. It's so perfect. No, he said, it's so wrong, it's perfect. I wish I hadn't gone there. But anyway, so
That's what
but
people say
we're
about
on
Ohio.
we're on 420 stations, and we love to feature songwriters, and we're gonna have Steve back someday if we're still on.
Really?
You like any Halloween songs? Anybody Halloween?
Yeah.
Well, Don Henry did a Halloween song.
Yes,
when he
he's
was
got a whole
on.
Halloween album, just like
I want
us.
him out, and we're going to do our Halloween songs.
That's right.
Zombie Pie had 1,000 plays in Argentina last
Right.
week.
Yes, and Don Henry won a Grammy, but that really doesn't matter.
No, God, forget that. And it's PBS, so the money's huge. So,
Well, that's how we talk Steve into doing the show.
yeah, the big
I
dollar.
don't know how I talked you into letting me do the show.
Right, and when is it on? Most stations.
Well, see, the thing about PBS is
Yes.
it's on at all kinds of days and times and all that.
Okay.
So check your local listings. You'll find
Resubscribe
it,
to TV Guide.
That's
Channel
right.
11.
But
Donate
Steve will
to
be
PBS.
Steve will be on soon. So get to your TV and watch him. Although the show will be airing for 3 years.
Yeah. Car
So
guys.
this show.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That was great. And I'm glad we
Hey,
got
Thank you,
thanks.
Eric. That was fantastic.
My
And now
pleasure.
a
and all-
man who's now sad that he's here, that he waited. It's
That could be any of us.
Don wishing he hadn't have taken this gig, Kent.
He looks okay with it.
The what?
That's every gig I take.
That's
Yeah.
every dig you
I
take.
get all
Oh,
excited. I booked it, and then I realized, oh, I got to go do it.
yeah. And you're probably a big right wing guy. Are we offending you? Are we because
Oh yeah, I'm such a big right wing guy. Yeah.
all right. So hey,
I'm,
here's what
I'm to
happens.
the left. I'm to the left of Chomsky. So
Oh wow, I love that. So
yeah.
Chuck, look up Chomsky. So here's what happens. Can you tell them what happens?
Oh, here's what happens. Chuck looks up Chomsky and still doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yes.
Oh, you mean in the show?
Yeah.
I'm going to play a little intro for you. Then you give us 10 minutes of awesome stand-up, and then we'll tell you how great you are.
Okay.
Here we go.
It's time for a big headliner. Got some funny jokes to say. Oh, do a 10-minute set headliner. Man, I'm so glad that it's Monday. Yeah.
On Kent.
So I'll open up with my Kamala joke that I just wrote, which is people say, we're going to have a woman president, which means we're going to have less wars and less aggression in the world. Anybody who says that has never been married. She's going to attack a country. They're going to be like, why'd you attack us? She'd be like, that's the point. You never remember. I'm just glad the pandemic is over, though, because I got depressed during the pandemic, just being at home all the time. And I started watching depressing TV because it fit my mood. Like I was addicted to this one show. It was about a dystopian future where everything's gone wrong. It was called CNN. Or any cable news network. So it's good to be here, you guys. I have kids. They're at home right now. I don't know about you guys. I don't hit my kids, but I will definitely hit other people's kids. I was at the buffet on this cruise ship one time, and there was a little boy. He was like shoulder height to me, so he's old enough to know better. And he just starts grabbing chicken with his bare hands from the buffet, and already I'm like, Then he's like, no, not that piece, and he starts putting some back. I didn't even mean to. My hand just went back of his head hard, and he started to cry. He's like, ah! His mom's like, what's wrong? I said, I don't think he likes the chicken. And she looks at him. He goes, is that true? He looks at me. He goes, yeah, I don't like the chicken. I was listening to a podcast today. This is by a guy who used to give lie detector tests for a living, and he refuses to give them now because they don't work. He said, all you have to do, and you can look this up, it's in the New York Times. All you have to do when you lie is clench your butt cheeks together as hard as you can, and it lowers your heart rate a little bit, and they can't tell.
Oh my.
True story. And you know what's awesome? All of you just clenched your butt cheeks. You tried it. I saw you, Brad. You got like an inch higher.
That's
And it's not even true. I just made that up to make you guys do that. You couldn't tell I was lying because I clinched mine. Oh my gosh. Oh man, I'm just glad we're not going to have an 81-year-old president, though. I was talking about the president. Joe Biden's 81. That's too old to run the country. My dad's 81. I don't trust him to run the lawnmower. I'm worried he's going to fall down, hit his life alert button, and nuke everyone on accident. Like, if I can't get up, no one gets up. I've been traveling a lot, though. I was in Canada this year, which I was there in January. That was a mistake because it was minus 40.
Oof.
Ooh, that's
Yeah, which is what they use Celsius, so it's minus 40 in Celsius. So I looked up what it was in Fahrenheit. Minus 40.
Yeah. They're the same.
The same.
Yeah.
So cold the two scales meet and rub together for warmth.
that'll do it.
And this Canadian guy starts giving me advice about it because they're nice. He's like, "Oh yeah, when it's this cold out, don't lick a pole." I'm from Texas. Nobody's ever told me that. So I go, "Why not?" He goes, "Oh, your tongue will stick to it." And I was like, "I have better advice for you. You should just not lick a pole ever." What are they up there like? "Oh, thank God it's March." Oh, I love the taste of pole in the springtime. The only good thing about when it's that cold is there's no gun violence because you can't pull a trigger when you're wearing a mitten.
Yeah.
I did that joke in Louisiana one time. A guy came up to me afterwards. He goes, "No, you can do it." There's an adapter. It's called the Midnator. Oh man. So I'm turning 50. I'm starting to lose people in my life. We just lost my granddad.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We found him. He was at Costco. He died. He was 99 though. That's a good age, right? Like 99.
Yeah.
And he was ready to go. Because he'd tell me, I'd be like, "How's it going?" He'd be like, "I'm ready to go." I'd be like, "You're not talking about the park, are you?" And I said, "How can you be ready to go? Don't you like being alive?" He said, "Sean, every day until you're 95 is great. Every day after that, you start looking at that coffin going, boy, I bet that thing has good lumbar support." So he was ready to go, and my grandma was super ready for him to go. They were married 76 years. She'd had enough. She would break out that do not resuscitate order at the drop of a hat. Like I took him to the doctor once. The doctor walks in. She's like, "He's got a DNR. He has a DNR." I was like, "Grandma, we're at the podiatrist." But I like my grandma. She's one of those women. She says things like, "If you don't have anything nice to say, sit next to me." I don't feel bad about missing my granddad though, because I know I'll see him again. Because I believe in the afterlife for sure, 100%. I can never be an atheist. Atheists are depressing. And if you're an atheist, don't get mad at me. You know you're depressing. That's why you don't push it on people. Right? Like you guys have never had somebody knock on your door like, "Hey, I just dropped by to tell you there's nothing." Your day, your whole life's meaningless. I brought literature if you have any questions. It's blank paper. You ever look in your hotel drawer and there's nothing in there? We provided that. So like I said, I've been traveling a lot. I took my family to the Grand Canyon. I'll wrap up on these last two jokes. I took my family to the Grand Canyon, which have you guys ever been to the Grand Canyon?
Yes,
Yes.
Did you notice there's no guardrails anywhere at the Grand Canyon?
I did notice that.
And I asked the park ranger, I said, does anything bad ever happen because you don't have guardrails? And he goes, yes, it does. He said, every year, and this, you can look this up, you can Google it, it's true. He said, we lose anywhere in our national parks 10 to 12 people over a cliff because they were taking a selfie and they fell.
Yeah.
Oh,
And my wife heard that and she goes, what a tragedy. And I was like, is it? Or is the Grand Canyon just doing the Lord's work? Not so much a canyon as it is a national IQ test.
Colin Nerd.
It's not just Americans falling. You can hear the Germans. They're like, 9! Park ranger's like, sorry, you're number 10.
Well,
But now I work on cruise ships all the time, which I like because I grew up watching The Love Boat. And my favorite couple on The Love Boat, if you guys remember The Love Boat, wasn't the young couple that would fall in love. I like the older couple who didn't get along anymore, but by the end of the episode, they'd rekindled the magic. Yeah, and I'll tell you something, you work for cruise ships as long as I have, you'll see that is not what happens. You watch people who don't get along the first day, the last day, they're like, how do you not know where the buffet is, Larry? I should have taken you to the Grand Canyon. Then I realized they're not all taking selfies. Some of those are wives going, scoot back a little bit more. All right, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
Sean Kent, man.
Okay, how much of that do you do in the show? On the ship?
I do all of that in my clean show, most of it.
That's killer stuff.
Good
Thanks,
stuff.
man. The politics stuff I do in the adult show.
Yeah. Oh no. Rich Gleason could not tell me enough about how much he loved your adult show. He goes, "Oh, Sean is so great, and he does. He'll really go there."
Yeah, I have a joke
Wow, but he's
about.
frozen.
That's why I asked if you could. Am I frozen?
You're back.
Anymore.
That's why I asked if I could do a dirty joke because I have a joke about Trump getting peed on by Russian prostitutes, and it goes
Love that joke.
jokes.
Is
But
the
I
F
don't think
word
I
in
can
it?
do it.
Is-
What'd you
is-
say?
Is the F word in it?
No.
Well, what do we say, Steve? Do you
I
wanna
say
go?
tell it.
Go ahead. Tell it.
I think I know this joke.
Well, it's just my friends are worried about Trump because they're like the Russians are blackmailing him because they have a tape of him getting peed on by prostitutes. And I'm like, no, that's not true. Because to blackmail somebody, you have to be embarrassed by it. Trump is not embarrassed by anything.
Yeah, no,
You could show that tape on CNN, he'd be like, look at that, I get peed on by the best hookers. Look at that, it's a piece clear. That's Trump quality pee right there.
I got a joke. I got a joke that's like that I shouldn't tell now because you'll see it coming a million. But I'm just gonna tell it anyway because it's almost 4 a.m. and I don't care. Hey Brad, what's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean?
I don't know. What's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean?
Donald Trump's never had a garbanzo bean on his face.
Last week on the ship,
That's a
Sean,
good joke.
you can have that joke. Last week on the ship, we had a guy wear that Trump hat everywhere he went. He just marched up and down, setting the shows with the Trump hat right up front. And I was like, oh God.
You know, Brad, I want to get you a hat to answer that. It's going to say, enjoy the next 8 years.
Yeah, no, I tell people on the ship, hey, whatever you are politically, I'm the opposite. So come up to me. Do not talk to me. All right. Well, Sean, that was amazing. Thank you,
Sean.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it.
And we usually split the money that everybody gives this donated to the comics, but Steve's got a house to pay for, so we're gonna have to do that. So I apologize. All right, now do another song.
Wow, this can be a long 50 years of me getting all the money.
That's
okay.
right.
Hang on, I got to do this thing, and then I got to do this thing, and here we go.
How about another dumb song from Steve for no reason?
Tonight, kids, it's very exciting because the song I'm about to do, I haven't written. I'm going to improvise it for you now. I don't know what the words are. I don't know what the melody is. I don't know what the words are. But I do have an idea.
4 in the morning.
Here we go. I'm playing on the ukulele because the guitar's in the thing. They say it's important that the president be at least 35 years old. But did you know that when that law was written in 1790, life expectancy for men was 34 years? You can look that up. But for women, it was 64. So go, Kamala. That's it.
Yay! That was play the thing and let's do the thing.
Oh, I got to do another thing? I wasn't ready for another thing. Okay, here comes the other thing.
All right.
Any second now. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, maybe not. Here we go. Nope, that didn't work at all.
Try
See
again. I'll just stand here uncomfortably.
That's when you rush me. Let's try that again.
Brad begs for money. Hey, we need your money. We don't charge a cover for a 2-drink minimum. So what did you expect, Jack?
Hey, this is a good week. Hey, I want to thank all the people last week who donated money. We had a really good week, and the comedians made a pretty good sum for the 10 minutes they gave us. And we would like that every week. If you could go to virtualcomedyshow.com and donate to this show, we will of course spread it out. Sean, amazing! Can you believe we have this kind of talent? Sean is brilliant. Eric is a genius too, and on the PBS. So go see him on the PBS. And so donate to this show first of all, because Steve does. I don't think anybody else is. Can anybody else believe that Steve bought a freaking apartment? And I'm not getting. I can't. I can't get it. I can't get it.
Blows my mind.
Maybe I'll fly over. Maybe I'll fly over in the.
I think I'm going to invest in some bunk beds.
I know, yeah, in a desk maybe too. That's amazing. So go to the virtualcomedyshow.com and donate to this show because Patty's giddy. Look how giddy Patty was tonight. It's kind of she melted opposite melt. She rose. She rubbed her flower, as she said. So anyway.
Oh my God.
She said it too. Okay, so anyway, and by the way, donate to the show and I'll buy a new couch because that one's getting worn out. So go to virtualcomedyshow.com and click donate to the comedians, and we will happily take that money. And you'll get an email from me that says thank you. Okay, go ahead. Let's get out of here.
Here comes the worst joke of the week.
Worst joke. Worst joke. Worst joke. Worst joke. Boo! That was the worst joke ever.
Yeah, I think we all think the last joke of the monologue was the worst joke ever. If any of you can remember what that was. Yeah, I had to do it twice just to get people to understand it. This is the same thing. In another attempt to be relatable to the average voter, RFK Jr. said he abandoned a dead bear in Central Park that was in the back seat of his car. He had planned. What? Did you not know this? Dead bear. He had decided. He had planned in his Bentley. He pulled over dead bear. He had planned to skin it for meat and pelt, but then decided he was late for a dinner and then he had to get on a plane. So he dumped it in Central Park, thinking people would assume it was hit by a biker. He said it was funny because he was like high at the time. So you guessed it. It was bear killed by Cocaine Kennedy.
Good night, everybody.
Hey, that was the virtual comedy show. We learned a lot of stuff we didn't need to know, like back to sleep, now Steve must go. And he's talking like Yoda because he's in Scotland. Fascinating, isn't it? We have a lot of fun at the virtual comedy show. It's better than sitting home playing with your toes or going to the dump to watch stuff decompose. Keep coming back to the virtual comedy